Hello friends, welcome to another vlog. Welcome back to Life in KMAX. It is 12:03 on Monday, December 15th. We are halfway through, thank Jesus. Yes. I am headed out later than I intended to go to the Y. I was intentional about doing a later workout today because I wanted to get stuff done around the house, and I'm realizing I am more productive if I go to the Y later, because in this type of weather I tend to want to come home and get under a heated blanket and not move until I have to. Whereas if I stay home, stay up, stay motivated in the morning, and when I say stay up, I mean like out of my chair. I do all the things, and then I go later, I'm good to go. Like, I just feel mentally better, physically better, and motivated. It's just this weather. It's so cold. I just got gas, and it is painfully cold out. Cray. But anyway, I'm gonna go work out, and I'll have to get our son from school. I don't know what time it will be when I leave. This light is dead, so I will take it off. I may have time to go home, or I may have time to go to the store. I'm not sure. Because I don't know what to have for dinner, and I really just want to use what I have at home. But do you think I bothered looking before I left? Nope, I didn't. That's what my husband is for. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm thinking salad, which I do have, and pasta, which I do have, and garlic bread. That's what I'm thinking, because we have it, it's easy, it's quick. That's probably what it's gonna be. So before I forget, I need to redact a statement that I made a couple of vlogs ago. A couple of vlogs ago, I stated that a little boy from a little boy from my son's school was unalived by his father the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It is true that he was unalived the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and so was his father. All of the news reports have stated and are still stating that the father unalived the son and then himself. However, I have heard from reliable sources that that may not be true. Evidence has pointed to them both being alived by someone else. So if I was incorrect, I want to apologize for that. The whole thing is still sad, and I hope that they can figure out what actually happened. But I just wanted to make sure I clarified on my own end. I don't want to put false information out there. So my apologies for that. And it will be the final time that I talk about it. So I just wanted to clarify. It's very sad. Anyway, we had an interesting weekend. So Friday night we went to a church in a local town to their Christmas program. One of the chiropractors that I used to work for was in it, so we went to support her. It was actually really good. The pastor gave a really good message, and it was just really good. The next day was my husband's birthday, and we ended up having not a blizzard, but pretty close to it. The weather turned like around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and by the time my husband came home from the movies, because a couple of us opted out of going to the movie, he was fine with that. So he, my daughter, and our little boy went. He said that he was white knuckling it all the way home. It was bad. I think we got between 4 and 6 inches of snow. The temperatures dropped dangerously low. I took our son to get a haircut to get his card, which was adorable, and I did get footage of that because I stated earlier that I was going to let him choose the card and I wasn't going to lead him in any direction. So I just showed him all the card aisles. I said, you can pick any card you want. Now, of course, he first went to a dinosaur card. And I was like, is that the one you want, or do you want to look around? Well, then he knows his daddy loves Star Wars. So he found a Star Wars, and it was a birthday card. I was proud of him. We didn't read it, but he picked it. And what's funny and interesting is our older son also got a Star Wars card from him and his sister. So I thought that was cute. So we went, I got his haircut, took him to the store, and by the time I got home, I was like, we need to revamp our times because it's going to be getting bad. Because we were just going to go to a movie and then out to dinner. So we switched it. He chose the restaurant, we went there, and then I was like, do you still want to go to a movie? And he did. So it's his birthday, you know what I mean? So my dad took him out to breakfast. I think he had a good birthday. And then Sunday we had church, and then we went to the pastor of the church we're attending. I think they do it every year, but it's cute. Their neighbors have a stable, and we gathered in there, and he read the Christmas story, and then we went to their house for coffee, hot chocolate, and just like finger food snacks. So it was nice. It was nice. Tonight we have training. We have a lot of training. I was also incorrect. I said we had to have all of our training done by December 20th. That's wrong. It's actually January 10th. So if you looked at my email, you would see back to back classes that we're taking. And this Saturday we have an in-person class this coming Saturday. And I think I said before, I prefer the in-person classes. I will say, like our first aid and CPR that we did online was just recorded video, so you were allowed to skip through it and just test out, like opt out through testing. Not opt out, but test out of certain segments. The one we took last week in our upcoming classes, it actually is like a Zoom. So there is an actual human being leading it and other people that are also on the class. And to pass the class and get the credit, you have to interact, you really do need to pay attention, which you should. I say all that to say I still prefer in-person trainings because it's just easier for me to stay focused. But when there are actual people leading the class, time goes really fast. So, and we're taking trainings that are actually pertinent to the kind of foster children that we take in. We like to learn everything we can about ADHD, neglect, SA abuse, all the things, because these are the children in our system. These are actual things that they face, and we want to know how to best parent them and relate to them and navigate those things with them. So we have, I think we have several classes this week, if I'm being honest. And Thursday, our agency, every year they throw a beautiful Christmas party for our agency. I can't remember the town it's in, but it's just this beautiful venue. It's all decorated for Christmas, and they have like caricature drawings or paintings, whatever you call it, face painting. They have like a DJ. He's so fun with the kids. He gets all the kids involved, and they pass out gift cards, and then which is very generous. Every year they spend $150 on every foster child in our agency, and I think that's so generous. So they pass out all the gifts that they buy them. Santa Claus comes, which I have a funny story about Santa Claus in a minute. I'll share it when I get back in the car, but I think I've been very honest that I always tell our kids, the kids that we have, they're, you know, Santa's not real. They know where they're getting their Christmas presents from, but what I forgot to do was to tell my son, let's not, other kids that believe in Santa, let's not ruin it for them without their parents' permission. Anyway, I am here at the Y, gonna pop some gum in. Whew, gonna get my workout done. I'm gonna go for 7 miles today. I don't know if I'll make it. So we're gonna try. All we can do is try. I got a text message. Oh, I think it's about my contacts. I did not wear my contacts today. I wore my glasses. I'm giving my little eyeballs a break from contacts, so. Okay, I'm gonna go out in the cold now. Go into the Y. I'll see you later. Hello. 'Tis me, post-workout. Popped out 7 miles. Ooh, I forgot to slow down sooner, and that was nerve-wracking. I gotta remember there's still ice under the snow. Wasn't the easiest I've ever done, wasn't the hardest. I wouldn't say I struggled terribly, but I had to keep revisiting my brain and telling my brain to stay in the game. I did probably half of my arm. No, I probably did 3/4 of the arm weights that I typically do, and I did all but one of the legs because one of them was out of order, which I was not upset about because that is not my favorite one. It's your inner thighs, that one. I don't like that one. I only did about 8 minutes in the sauna because I want to get home and change. I do not like being in wet clothes, especially in the freezing weather. I know that I'm not going to have time to go to the store before I get our son. And I really don't want to take him out in this. Maybe my husband will go get him, we'll see. Yeah, I absolutely prefer working out this time of day, except a little earlier. Maybe like, what time did I get there? I don't even remember. I think it was afternoon, I know that. It's very dead, very calm. I like that aspect. I like that I feel ready to keep going rather than I want to crash. Tomorrow, I think I already talked about this, I don't remember. Tomorrow, we're keeping Mr. out of school, and we're taking him to the next town over because my friend is adopting her 3 children tomorrow. Ooh. She's had them just under 3 years. I think it's 3 years. 3 years in March. Pretty sure. Beginning of March. And they are ages, let's see, I have to think, 8, 5, and almost 3. Pretty sure. So it's funny because we've had ours for almost 4 years and her adoption will be before ours, but that's okay. It really is okay because I know it's going to happen. So we're taking him, and I gave him the option. At first I was just going to just take him and not give him an option. But I told him what was happening, and I said, would you rather go to school or would you rather go to their adoption? And at first he chose school. And I said, okay, and I wasn't going to push it. And then he thought about it, and I let him know. I said, I just thought it would be good for you because then you can see how it goes. You can know what to expect, and we can support them as friends. And then he decided to go to school. But then he's like, no, actually, I'm going to go with you. And I said, okay. And I made sure that he was sure. And I said, I really think it's going to be good for you because I think as you get to see what will happen, it'll let you know what to expect. So, and me, I've never been to an adoption. So I'm curious and excited to see how it goes and to support them as well. So she has given me permission to vlog it, and I don't know that I'll be allowed to in the courtroom. I have no idea. I will be respectful of all parties, but she said that I can vlog it, and her kids' faces won't need to be blurred because they'll be hers. So that's exciting. That'll be in the morning at 11:30 after ladies group. All right, so I'm going to head home, change my clothes, see what kind of time I'm working with. Actually, I'm thankful because now I will be able to see what I have in regards to dinner tonight. I cannot thaw any meat out. I don't have time for that, for ground beef, for the sauce. So I'm gonna have to buy some, which I hate that because I have plenty at home in the freezer. Our pipes are frozen in the kitchen. The water from our fridge, the water in the sink, all frozen, which also means I cannot use the dishwasher, which is okay. But they're not frozen in the bathrooms or downstairs. So every single winter at the house we lived at before, I mean, literally every home we've ever lived in, the pipes freeze. So yeah, we have a heater in front of we have the doors open under the kitchen sink, and we have the heater running. My husband says that doesn't work, but it does. I know it does because my grandma told me that it does, and so did my parents. So it does. In my mind, I think it helps. They may or may not be unfrozen tonight. Last winter, I thought I was doing the right thing, and the temperatures were dipping. So I left the faucet running in the sink upstairs. Because that is what my mom always said to do, and my grandma and my dad. Like, if you know the temperatures are dipping, just a teeny tiny steady stream so that your pipes don't freeze. I must have left it too much of a streamline, and the drain must have accidentally been clogged. So we all went to bed, and I wake up to a text from my dad. I've called so-and-so to come and check. I think the water pipe burst. And my dad, that man who can't even get up and down off the ground, got himself down, threw downstairs under the steps. We call that like the attic under the steps. Crawled all the way back there. Had to unload everything that was in that closet. Turned the pipes off. And that morning, everything under my sink was sopping wet. and the cabinets were soaked, the sinks were overflowing, floor was wet. Guess the water overflowed and must have gone down because his bathroom, it was coming through the ceiling. He had the ceiling tiles off. His bathroom floor was wet. And I stood there in the morning and I'm like, do I fess up? Because I'm too scared. I don't want him to be mad at me. Not that he would have been. Do I tell the truth or do I just go with it? And I'm like, tell the truth. So I fessed all the way up. I said, I don't think anything burst. I think it's my fault. And I told him what I did. And he literally had so much grace. And he's like, I'm just relieved that that's what you did and that it wasn't a burst pipe. Like, he wasn't mad at all. He handled it. And I just was like, I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I did what I thought was right. I was just trying to keep it from freezing, but I flooded everything. So now I'm too scared to leave the water running. I don't know that I will do that. I'd rather just have frozen pipes and have to wait it out. So that was our interesting event last year. So he had a dishwasher downstairs. So we were taking, because we had no dishwasher, like we had no water, and hello, we have 4, 5, 6 kids, plus us, plus feeding my dad. So we were taking all of our dirty dishes downstairs and washing him in his dishwasher, which we have since, he gave us his dishwasher. In exchange for that, we bought him a cabinet to put in place of the dishwasher because we were saving up for a dishwasher. So now we have the dishwasher upstairs because he never used it. We used it. He didn't. But anyway. All right. I'll be back. Well, hubby cannot get Mister, so I am going to get him, and he's just going to have to come to the store with me. I didn't want to have to drag him out in this, but he doesn't care. What I am going to do is get myself some decaf, because I can do that for myself. I did check my pantries. I say pantries, they're cabinets in a closet that I store food in, and I have pasta. I do not have sauce. However, I remembered that I have in our freezer in the garage homemade pasta sauce that I made myself for the first time. The problem is it's frozen solid, and the other problem is I'm too afraid to try it. Because what if it's gross? Because to me it didn't look like pasta sauce. She's cute. Every time I see that woman walking, she is Asian and she's beautiful, and she has to live somewhere in my neighborhood. She always smiles so big and waves, and she just seems like she's so nice, and I want to be her friend. So I hope in the summertime she's walking and I can pull over and ask her, introduce myself. Anyway, so I do need to get sauce, and I did forget to check to see if I have cheese, but we always use cheese, so I'll just get some cheese to put on top. That'll be good, and I'll get some fruit as well and make a salad. Okay.